common mistake we see here a lot at Captivate is podcasters confusing your podcast logo with your podcast cover art. So typically when podcasters are talking about their logo, they actually mean their cover art. So in this video, I am here to clear up any confusion. So at the end, you'll be crystal clear about the two different elements and the different jobs that they do. So get comfy, hit subscribe, like this video, and enjoy. So what is the difference? What is the difference between your podcast logo and your podcast cover art? Now, they both play an important role in your overall podcast branding. However, they do different jobs. And I'm going to start with your cover art because that is where most of the confusion sort of starts. Yeah. So when podcasters are talking about their logo, they actually mean their cover art. So your cover art is what you are uploading to the podcast playing platforms and apps such as Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music. It's a visual representation of your podcast. It's the first thing that potential listeners will see when they're browsing podcasts. So it's the first thing they'll see of your podcast. So when they're in their preferred podcast playing app and they're searching podcasts, they will see your cover art. Have a look for yourself, yeah? Have a browse, see what different cover art is out there in the wild. Okay, so that is your podcast cover art. What about your logo? So your podcast logo, you can incorporate this into your cover art, and I see a lot of podcasters do this. But your logo can also be used across other materials as well. So individual episode artwork, branded merchandise, you know, your coasters, mugs, pens, that sort of thing, promotional assets, social media graphics. Your logo is very flexible because it can be used in lots of different ways. Now, technically speaking, you don't need a logo to start a podcast. You do need your cover art because that's what the apps need. Yeah, it's your visual representation, but you don't need a logo. And you can always revisit creating and adding a logo further down the line. However, we would recommend creating a logo because anything that can help strengthen your overall podcast brand is going to be a winner. It also looks a bit more professional too. So there you go. There is the difference between your podcast cover art and your logo. So you should now be confident between the two. We like to spoil you here at Captivate, and we have a ton of free podcasting resources for you. What I really urge you to do is check out the description because there'll be a link to an article that goes into more detail about podcast cover art and logos. And there's also a link to our free 45-second quiz that helps you identify that one blocker that's getting in the way of launching your podcast and gives you steps to overcome it. We also regularly post on our YouTube channel, so make sure that you subscribe, like this video, and let us know what you think in the comments. Happy podcasting, everyone.